The air burned with the scent of plasma and metal as the gates of the arena groaned open. 1,000 alien eyes watched in anticipation, their scaled faces illuminated by the red glow of twin suns. At the center of the sand-covered floor stood a lone figure, human, unarmed, and silent. Captain Elias Ward squinted against the harsh light, feeling the weight of the universe pressing on his shoulders. Above him, banners of the Varkan Empire fluttered, each symbol a reminder of the worlds they had conquered, Earth included. The announcer's voice echoed through the Colosseum, translating into dozens of alien tongues. Presenting humanity's final warrior, laughter erupted from the stands. To them, Elias was a relic from a fallen race. Primitive, fragile, hopeless. The gates across the arena opened with a mechanical hiss, and from the darkness stepped General Sarath. Her 4 muscular arms flexed as twin plasma blades ignited, painting the air in brilliant blue arcs. Her gaze fell on the human before her, unarmed and calm. "You came to die without a weapon?" she snarled in the universal dialect. Elias simply raised his fists. "Don't need one," he replied, his voice low but steady. The crowd jeered louder, mocking his defiance, but Sarath's smirk faltered. There was no fear in his stance, only focus. A low hum filled the arena as the signal sounded. Sarath lunged forward like lightning, her blade slicing through the air where his head had been a moment before. Elias moved with precision, his boots digging into the sand. The first strike missed, so did the second. Gasps rippled through the crowd. For the first time in centuries, an unarmed human had entered the Varkan arena, and the fight had only just begun. Sarath attacked again, faster this time, her 4 arms a blur of motion. Each swing of her plasma blades cut through the air with deadly precision, yet Elias moved like water, flowing, shifting, adapting. The crowd roared as sparks danced across the arena floor. Every time she thought she'd cornered him, the human slipped away, leaving behind nothing but the echo of his breath and the crunch of sand beneath his boots. To the audience, it looked impossible. To Elias, it was survival. The same instinct that had carried humanity through wars, extinction events, and endless despair. He felt the sting of heat graze his shoulder as one blade barely missed him. Pain followed, sharp but distant. He ignored it. Pain meant he was still alive. Sarath circled him like a predator, her grin fading. "You dodge well, human, but that's all you can do." Elias didn't answer. He focused on her movements, the tension in her lower arm, the slight delay in her rear step. He waited. When she lunged again, he stepped inside her guard, striking her lower wrist with a sharp twist of his body. The plasma blade clattered to the ground, sizzling in the sand. Gasps filled the arena. Elias's knuckles burned, skin splitting open, but he didn't care. Sarath recoiled, shock flickering in her eyes. No alien had ever seen a human fight like this. No weapons, no armor, just sheer defiance. For a brief second she hesitated, and Elias saw it, the tiniest spark of doubt. He pressed forward, landing another blow that forced her back. The crowd's laughter died. A silence settled over the arena, thick and heavy. Sarath, the undefeated general, had just realized something terrifying. This human wasn't fighting to win. He was fighting because surrender was never an option. Blood ran down Elias's arm, warm against the cold air. His lungs burned, his vision blurred, but he stayed on his feet. Sarath's breathing grew ragged too, her attacks slower, her stance less sure. The crowd sensed the shift. The laughter that once filled the arena was gone, replaced by a tense silence broken only by the hum of her plasma blades. Elias's fists trembled, split open and raw, but when he lifted them again, the motion sent a shiver through the alien ranks. There was something primal in his saint. Something even Sarath couldn't understand. She lunged once more, her blade grazing his chest. The pain tore through him, but Elias didn't back away. He stepped forward, slamming his shoulder into her torso, forcing her back several paces. The crowd gasped. No one had ever seen a human push a Varkan warrior like that. Sarath roared in fury and charged again, but Elias caught her arm mid-swing, twisting until the plasma blades sputtered out and fell. His knuckles cracked as he struck, again and again, until the arena floor was stained with alien dust and sweat. Sarath dropped to one knee, blinking through disbelief. You're just flesh and bone," she hissed, clutching her bruised jaw. Elias staggered, nearly falling, but his voice came out steady. "That's all it takes." He stood over her, battered but unbroken, his chest rising and falling with every ragged breath. Around them the silence deepened. Every alien watching now understood what Sarath had begun to fear. Humans didn't need claws or weapons to be dangerous. They fought with something no empire could manufacture, the will to survive, the will to win. And as Elias raised his bleeding hand, the once mocking crowd began to see him not as prey, but as something far more terrifying. The arena lights dimmed, leaving only the twin suns casting long golden shadows across the blood-stained sand. Elias stood motionless, his chest heaving, body shaking from exhaustion. The silence stretched endlessly until Sireth, still kneeling, slowly lifted her gaze. Her forearms lowered, blades deactivated, as she pressed one fist to her chest, the Varkan salute of surrender and respect. The crowd erupted, not in outrage but in thunderous awe. For the first time in their history, a human had defeated one of their greatest generals without a single weapon. Sireth rose to her feet, towering over Elias, yet her tone was softer now. "You fight like the stars themselves burn inside you," she said, her voice trembling with sincerity. Elias managed a tired smile. "No, I fight because I've already lost everything worth fearing." Her eyes widened at that. The words sank deep and she understood. Humans were not fearless because they lacked fear, but because they had learned to stand tall despite it. She extended her arm and Elias, bruised and bloodied, clasped it firmly. The image of a human and a Varkan standing side by side would echo across the galaxy for generations. From the highest balcony, the Varkan Emperor rose. "The human fights with no weapon yet defeats power itself," he declared. "Let all worlds remember this day." The audience bowed their heads in silent respect. As Elias turned toward the open sky, the twin suns bathed him in crimson light. The crowd whispered one word over and over: "Human." It no longer sounded like an insult. It sounded like a title. Elias exhaled, pain fading beneath quiet pride. "Now you know," he murmured, "what it means to be human." And with that, the legend of the barehanded human began its journey among the stars.